Senator from Dorchester.
I'd like third reading on S-234.
Senator from Greenville. Senator from Greenville is recognized.
Mr. President, on these two bills issued as local bills, I want to rise in favor, to speak in favor of these bills. It is, first of all, so good to have the senator from Dorchester back.
Can we get a little order?
My friend
Senate,
from,
please come to order.
He has been my friend for all these years. In fact, we've talked a number of times. I've tried to, and I'm in favor of the idea of an impact fee. And the concept, I think, is very, very good. But here is the question that I have, and I don't know what the answer to it is. Now, what this does is, or these two bills, one's an information bill, the other's an impact fee bill. It allows local school districts to impose impact fees on new developments. Now, that seems to, in theory, make sense. Because if you're going to have 30 new developments or 20 new developments taking place, that adds children on in a particular area, might then have to have a new elementary school, so forth and so on. So in theory, I don't have a problem with this. But if we pass this, I just want to tell you, you're going to see probably a flurry of these bills coming through from every district copying what Senator from Dorchester has drafted here. I want to make sure, and it might be, I'm the second one up, Senator from Dorchester, but I'm not enough of an expert on the impact of these sorts of things, of these kinds of things to know exactly what will be the, how is it written so that we absolutely know that it is what we're trying to attain. So in theory, in fact, I'd love to go on the bill, but of course Dorchester is not my district. But I may be drawing one up. This may be a way to deal with problems of the school districts. So I'm looking over at the finance chairman right now. I know that they got important things going, and I don't know quite how to handle this because I know every school district of 80. Senator, how many are there? 85 school districts? 83? 84? 84 school districts. Just expect every school district in the state to emulate this. Now, what about your developers? Is this the right time to do that? And I don't know the answer to that. But my point is, if it's done in one, this is the sort of legislation that will copy itself in every school district. I don't know if that's good or bad. In theory, I support impact fees. That is the areas that are developing. Why should established neighborhoods have to pay for new development in established neighborhoods? So I would ask the senator from Dorchester this question. If I could pose the question to him, I'm not supposed to, but or maybe make the statement. I'm nervous about passing this because I know that we will see from Greenville and Pickens and all over the state the very same legislation will follow, and I need some guidance from the body. I'm not sure I've ever quite seen something that fit this category before in all these years, where you know if one county does it, it will produce a cascade effect. So somebody give me some help here. Am I wrong about this? I don't quite know how to handle it. I know it's written as special legislation for Dorchester. I don't want to hold up their legislation if this is what their delegation wants to do. But if the same thing comes to me, my school district senator from Richland is going to say, well, you approved it for Dorchester and let's say Lexington. Why can't we have the same thing in Greenville?
Senator from Richland, for what purpose do you rise?
Would the senator yield for a question?
Certainly.
Would you yield?
This has been an issue, as you know, that's been discussed and debated outside the chamber for many, many years as far as impact fees and
talked about it a lot.
The building of new school buildings. And I frankly think, theoretically, I mean, I know this is peculiar just to Dorchester. The bill is addressed to just Dorchester, but it's statewide in scope. Senator, I'm not going to object to it, but I do think this is an issue that we need to address in finance and perhaps even the education committee on a statewide basis instead of incrementally doing it on a local basis. So, Senator, I share your concerns about this.
Well, I would like to hear from, thank you, Senator. I'd like to see if the Senator from Dorchester can kind of help me through this because truly, Senator from Dorchester, I'd love to, I think in theory, I want to be associated with the impact fee concept rather than normal taxes. I just want to know when we walk into this that this is what this will be. Listen to me. This will be a phenomenon for the next year until it is incorporated in 70 out of 84 school districts. It will be a phenomenon. The ones that will not be in are the ones that where builders have registered severe complaints.
Senator from Dorchester, for what purpose do you rise?
Senator, I wonder if the senator from Greenville would yield the floor for me to give an explanation to answer some of his questions.
Absolutely, and I thank you very much.
Senator from Dorchester is recognized to speak on the bill. Senator from Dorchester.
Members of the Senate, I'd urge you to pay attention to this explanation. First of all, the first bill I have, which is local legislation, has nothing to do with impact fees. It has to do, this is Senate Bill 234, with one thing and one thing only, information. Now, why would I put a bill in about information? Here's why. Last year, Dorchester District 2 did a study showing that because over 10,000 homes have been approved in our area, in its district, we need 15 new schools. So what happened is the developers got approval for over 10,000 homes, and afterwards the school district informed us the impact on schools. And you have the chairman of the school board in the paper saying, we're not going to tell town and county council about the effect of what they're voting on schools because we have no authority. That's in our newspaper.
What's it have to do with it?
And then you have the chairman of county council saying in the newspaper, we're not going to ask the school district for information about the impact of this project we got, development, because
Is that what he asked?
we're not in the education business. So what my bill would do is mandate that Dorchester District 2 do something. Not a county, not a city, only Dorchester District 2. And it requires them to do two things. Number one, once a year, to send a written report to all municipalities and counties in the school district footprint describing the status of their schools, how many students they got, how much they're overloaded, how many new students they've had. And it details in the bill the information to provide once a year at the end of the fiscal year. Now, the second thing that's provided is in the bill is that Dorchester District 2 sends every municipality and every county a written request every quarter. Please send us any development of projects above a certain size, above 25 acres. That's the size for a development agreement. Send it to us and let us comment on it in writing within 30 days so that the county council and the town council members, when they're voting on whether to approve that project, they will have in writing what the impact on the schools are. Now, I just think it's irresponsible, and my citizens do too, to be voting on whether a project should be approved without having a fiscal impact statement attached to it. We don't pass a law here without a fiscal impact statement, and I'm representing to you that they're deliberately avoiding giving the information. So if you're going to vote against the impact fee bill, let's deal with the first things first. This is an information bill. And I might add, this does not require the city to respond or the county to respond. Why? Because it couldn't be special legislation if it mandated what a city or a county can do. But we can have special legislation on the school district. Senator?
Senator from Richardson.
Senator, deal for a question.
Yes, sir.
Senator, I don't have a problem with 234. On 235, I just need to look at the verbiage in the law because it's my understanding, of course, municipalities and counties can enact, but school districts are precluded. I need to look and see exactly how this is worded. I conversed with the senator from York who chairs the K through 12 Standing Committee, the Senate Education Committee, and we both would like perhaps to look at this. What if we pass 234 and carry it over 235 until next when we come back in session in 2 weeks?
Senator, I don't mind carrying over 235 out of courtesy to any senator who's got concerns about it. But I would like to speak about that bill for a moment before